Welcome, everyone, to Testify Tuesday here at the Mission Foundation, where we are about healing family and saving lives. Yes, yes, every Tuesday here at the Mission Foundation. I want to thank first. I want to thank first. I want to thank first. I want to thank Nathan. Nathan Norman, he's here on Getting in the Herd. But again, on Tuesday, the third Tuesday of the month, he allowed Testifying Tuesday to come in. And man, I tell you, I don't even know where to start, but I do know one thing. This is the day that the Lord has made, and we have come together to rejoice and be glad in it, in the recovering community that what happens here at the Mission Foundation. It's a community of recovering people. Some people are recovering from substance use disorder. Some people are recovering from gambling. Some people are recovering from shopping. Some people are recovering from overeating. And I tell you, this season right here, we're working on that one. But I'm telling you, man, this is a great day to be clean. So I really want to thank the Mission Foundation allowing Breaking the Bondage of Addiction Ministry to have this platform that we identify as Testify Tuesday. You don't find that many 12-step programs or faith-based recovering or whatever your process or your way of, recovery, your recovery process. Yes, this is what I want to say. That Mission Foundation embrace all manifestation. So you could come here at the Mission Foundation. You could be part of AA. You could be part of NA. You could be part of Smart Recovery. You could be part of harm reduction. You could be part of risk recovery. You could be part of AAA. We don't care. We just want you to stop using drugs, lose that desire to use, and find a new way to live. But I tell you, man, I'm excited. I'm excited again. I have two wonderful ladies here. Not only are we going to talk about Black History Month, right, and how we celebrate Black History. We also going to talk about being absent from drugs, any movement, altering substance. We're going to talk about, man, I tell you, we have a whole bunch of things to talk about. But let me tell you what Breaking the Bondage of Addiction Ministry does, how I look, how we operate. We operate every Sunday from 9:30 to 11. 9:30 to 11. And here at the Mission Foundation, 2300 Dunbarton Road, Richmond, Virginia, we operate here. It's a 12-step and a biblical-based program. We go through one of the steps each Sunday, and then we find a Bible scripture that relates to the step. So I always bring speakers from the community, from the 12-step community, whether it's AA, NA, CA, AAA, we don't even care. I bring a speaker in, they share their experience, their strength, their hope, and then God always lead me to a Bible scripture that reflects that step. So therefore, it's open to the community, to the participant here at the Mission Foundation, or any manifestation of a 12-step lifestyle. You are definitely welcome. Because we know it was the drugs and the alcohol that got you here, but it's God who deal with you through a lifestyle of changes. And we know change ain't change until you change. And if nothing changed,
nothing changed.
Oh, come on now. Y'all can speak better than that. Y'all talk back to me.
Are we going to church? Nothing changes.
Testify Tuesday. Yeah, but let me read this to you real quick, and then I want to get my two guests involved in the conversation. I just want you to hear how do Breaking the Bondage of Addiction Ministry look. And here on Testify Tuesday, they allow us to use that space, to talk about the program, because, most people in this community, when they come here to this ministry, right, we fill them with the word of God to help change their life. But what happened, they go back to their own church home. Remember, we are a ministry where a lot of people deal with brokenness, a lot of broken hearts, dysfunction family, caught up in some type of bondage. So we come over here at Testifying, at the Mission Foundation, Breaking the Bonds of Addiction Ministry, and help you to relieve that burden, that bondage that you are dealing with. And most people who come through here, whether they come from Maine, whether they come from Michigan, all around the world, because the Mission Foundation, we reach 48 institutions to where we go in an institution and they're able to watch Breaking the Bondage of Addiction Ministry. But when they come here, right, our mission, this is our mission at Breaking the Bondage of Addiction Ministry. It reads as such: the Spirit of the Lord God is upon me, because the Lord has anointed me to preach good tidings unto the meek. He has sent me to bind the brokenhearted, to proclaim liberty to the captive, and to open of the prison to them that are bound. And that is our mission. But we have a great goal. And this is the goal. All right, this is the goal of the ministry. Our goal is to enlighten, empower, and equip individuals with knowledge, understanding, and wisdom through the word of God concerning addictive behavior. And I'm so grateful here at the Mission Foundation. When the pandemic has started, Hatchet Memorial Church, they had shut down, so the spiritual service wasn't operating. So I got that phone call saying, Walter, can you bring a ministry, a spiritual service for our people? Because even though, a lot of church has shut down, a lot of agency wasn't bringing people in for recovering, the Mission Foundation stayed open. They brought me in. God blessed me with the ministry of Breaking the Bondage of Addiction Ministry. So again, we operate here every Sunday from 9:30 to 11. And again, I'm grateful that Nathan, who normally run Get in the Herd, he opened up every Tuesday, every third Tuesday, for me to come on and talk about Breaking the Bondage of Addiction Ministry. And we identified it as Testify Tuesday. So today I got a few young ladies too. I tell you, man, both of them dear to my heart. Gigi, she don't even know, the impact, that she have on me, even today. I want to say it was early. I think it was early 2000 when we first met.
2000, yeah.
Right. And she had the voice of a talk show host. She have the attitude of excellency. I think I said it right. Anyway, y'all pray for me. Anyway, but it's just the way she conduct herself, the way she carried herself. And most recently, here at Breaking the Bondage of Addiction Ministry, we had an opportunity for our first year celebration. And she don't know, but during that service, Monique, what Gigi did, she called me. Matter of fact, she cashed out me, and I saw honest.
Better than a call.
Yeah, oh yes it is, yes it is. I'm so honest that she's a CEO. She's walking around here with one of Breaking the Bonds of Addiction Ministry Spiritual Church, and Gigi, she cashed out me enough to purchase 15 shirts for 15 participants.
Oh, that's sweet.
And they don't even know that it was her who did it.
Wow.
And a couple of weeks ago, another young lady, she stood up at Breaking the Bondage of Addiction Ministry. And I think I told you about it after I found that $50 bill, Justice. I think I told you about that. But the very next Sunday, one of the ladies who stood up and talked about, her son being inside a nursing home, and she was 34 years delivered from drugs. And she said, don't give up 5 minutes for the miracle.
Yeah.
Right? Gigi, she cashed out me another sum of money just to bless the ministry. Now, I didn't bring her on the show because and if she keeps doing that, I'll keep bringing her on.
So is this a low-key sponsorship offer then?
Right.
Testify Tuesday.
Now the truth comes out.
Okay. But I tell you what happened was last month, and God has a funny way of moving things around. I want to bring her on last month with another participant. We're going to talk about, and she's going to get into, some of the conversation. And but I'm feeling God even on today that it wasn't the right time for that participant.
Right.
That Gigi was in place, but it wasn't the right time for that participant.
Sometimes you have that.
Yeah, so and you got to be in tune with God, because I may want it my way, but that ain't God's way.
Right.
His thoughts are not my thoughts. His ways are not my ways, but He knows what's best. Because this is what happened, Gigi, and I'm going to bring you in. I'm going to bring her in too. Watch how I do this, right? Because this is what happened. I got a phone call this week. Now, this is Black History Month. This young lady over here going to call me, going to ask me, do I mind speaking on Black History Month here at the Mission Foundation? Now, I'm like, wait a minute. We agreed to cross a barrier. My wife's, hey, baby boo.
Hey, Tracy.
Hey, Tracy.
So what happened? I'm like, we get ready to cross a barrier here, right? But for God to put that on her heart. And I remember when she came to the Mission Foundation, and I thought about, we talking about Black History Month here at the Mission Foundation. I said, okay, God, so how does that look? And what that looked like to me was love.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's all the Mission Foundation is about, healing family and saving lives. But it took the voice of one crying out in the wilderness.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what she did.
Mm-hmm.
So if this would have went on last month with you, we wouldn't have her here today.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I'm like,
Go,
wow,
Mo, go.
man.
Look at-
So this
look
what I'm
at
gonna do.
God.
I'm gonna leave this alone.
Look at
I want
God.
these two to engage in conversation, and I'm gonna stay right here, and I'm gonna be at awe to what God will do. So, G, come on, just tell us a little bit about yourself, what God help you doing for the
My
community,
God,
and
my
bring
God.
her in the way you bring her in. Woo, woo.
We're gonna bring her in on the way I bring her in.
Yes,
So first of all, I want to say to you, Walt, thank you so much. I want to thank the McShin Foundation as well. It's a pleasure to be on this platform with you. We cut up and I was like, okay, Lord, keep us sane in this process. Hallelujah. But as you said, we do go back since 2000, I think is when I first met you, and you've always been the same. Just the same. You mentioned I've been the same and consistent, as have you. And I think that genuineness is what kept us linked. And we've gone years and I didn't see you, and I saw you at J Sarge when you enrolled, and I was teaching there. And so we just have history that most people don't even realize. And I'm just so thankful to God for that. So I do thank you. But just briefly about me, I am a certified life coach, and I hold segments called Breaking Unhealthy Soul Ties. And one of the things with that, which is what we're going to pull Monique in on, is that so many people don't realize what unhealthy soul ties are, because some people just think it's relationship based, like, oh, she did this or he did that. When soul ties, you can be your own unhealthy soul tie for real, because if you haven't got through that process, you haven't done the process, then you are your own unhealthy soul tie. And so that's what those segments are about. It's about embracing. Now, Walt, don't take this personal, but it's a girls gathering, right? Now,
he is God all by himself. He created them.
Now, Monique, watch this. Now, that doesn't mean that men don't have unhealthy soul ties. So let me go ahead and put that in proper perspective. But this particular segment that I do is a girls gathering. And the thing that I wanted to do is to make sure that we have women from all walks of life. I own a school that teach nursing classes, and we get students. I made sure that God planted me on the bus line because I wanted the students from the projects. I have people that own the same similar type businesses, and I'm like, girl, I don't know how you can deal with those people from the projects. You know how? Because East 10th Street was my story, and I will cut you. So don't talk about people that grew up in the projects.
I ain't that
You are looking at someone who lived in the project. So you never forget your humble beginnings, right? And so that's what that's about. And so at the school, of course, with me having people from all walks of life, the goal is to bridge the gap, because I have kids sitting in my class that would have never interacted with a certain group of people, and to bring them together. And by the time the class is over, there's a sisterhood, there's a familyhood, there's a bond. And so I take nothing for that. And so I'm always thankful for that opportunity. And from that is where I birth Breaking Unhealthy Soul Ties, because in order to teach some of those students, I have to break through so many layers. I'm just chipping at layers, from girls whose moms have pimped them out several times in a night just to get their fix. Girls who've come off the road from sex trafficking, and just trying to make a living. So those are the things that you don't know when you get these students in your class, where they're coming from. And then you have the group that the silver spoon is still in their mouth. And they're like, oh my God. Those clutch pearls. And I'm like, honey, loosen up your pearls, because if you're going to sit in this class, we embrace everyone. So that's how it pretty much started. I too have gone through some stuff in life, and have faced some challenges. As a childhood, it wasn't the greatest. I've had some traumatic experiences, forced to do some things that is unimaginable, in all honesty. And as a young girl, just being exposed to certain things, I could have used that as a woe it's me, but I decided not to. I decided not to. I decided, okay, so it was me. How can I keep it from being someone else? So that's my story. I'm sticking to it.
I know that's right.
And so we have with us, and I think you can introduce Monique far better than I could because you know her more. But I'm excited about what Monique is about to bring to this dynamic and this equation today as well.
Yeah, and you know what? And what we talk about from a 12-step perspective is around our fifth step where we get into the exact nature, right? We uncover what we have discovered in order for us to recover.
Yeah, see you.
Try
it. Let us hear you say it again.
Uncover. Here it is. We uncover what we have discovered in order to recover.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, because here it is. A closed mouth can't get fed.
Cannot get fed.
So let's talk about the exact nature of what happened, right? In order for the healing.
Yeah.
Because we expose it to the light. See, it grows in the dark. But we expose it to the light. Testify, Walter. Here it is. If we expose it to the light, man, God, come on, man. Because God is the light.
Yeah.
He's the light of the world. The darkness comprehended not. God is the light.
Yeah.
So we expose it.
Yeah.
The healing begin.
And on my end, Walter, this is what we call it. We call it root cause analysis.
Okay.
Because you got to get
clinical names,
right?
Yeah.
Because it's the same. It's the same concept, right? But you getting to the root of it. It's that uncover, discover that you were talking about. Because guess what? If you pull it up at the root, no one can come back and water it. It's dead.
It's dead. That's good.
Right. That's where the healing takes place. But it's the same.
It's the
five. It's number 5 in your step.
There you go. And check it out. Look how you came, right? Look how I identified. But she does it every time she open her mouth.
Yes.
One thing she does, she tell the truth about her situation.
And
in other words,
is so free.
Come on, it'll make you free. Come on, man. You know, because she has the ability to identify the steps that she have taken. She's not ashamed of where God had used to get her to. And then this the ministry that she had within her. Because of the brokenness, because of the bruisedness, because of the hurt, because of the damage, she are able to teach transgressors God's way of doing things. Because she identified with the process. She said. And so all those women that I want to quote unquote saying she misled in her walk, God has put her over a community of women here at Breaking the Bondage of Addiction. Oh, slow down. Here at the Machine Foundation, we're breaking the bondage of addiction operates at. I can't claim this because this is the Machine, and I'm grateful that Machine brings Breaking the Bondage of Addiction ministry in, and we also have what we exposed to testify to. Someone, let me be quiet. You just come on in. Come on in.
Mo in.
Introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about what you do. Come on, Mo.
Well, I'm Monique. I am actually currently holding a new position. It's called the Peer Community and Program Liaison.
Woo! A leader.
So, I was like, that is a long title. Let's see if I can remember
You're gonna
it.
come up with some acronyms.
You know? And but what that is I basically assist Dixie. She's our female program director with the women's program. And I also assist Honesty, our CEO, with special events and social media. And it's honestly been so incredible what happens when you kind of stay in position.
Yeah, that's good.
Like I went through the intensive program last year. And there were some things that, so back up. I've been trying to, or rather it's been told to me that I should try to dip my toes in the recovery community for years, right?
Yes.
Whenever I gave it a chance or like would peek my head in, I identified out. I didn't see anybody like me. I didn't see a lot of people of color, especially not women of color. And it was very easy for me to identify out. Like, no, I ain't never done that, or I ain't never been like that. Or, it was very easy for me to do that. And then coming from a community where we kind of like, when we have addicts in our family, we kind of just brush them to the side. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh yeah, we're not going to That's on Chris. He a crackhead. Like, let's just,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
Uncle Chris the crackhead.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, we just like we
Yeah.
don't talk about it.
Yeah.
It's kind of taboo. So,
Yeah.
and when you see it on TV and media, you see like this portrayal, but you don't ever see people like us.
Right. Right.
So when I came in, there were a lot of things that I felt like I was misunderstood. So for me, it was very important to have Walt at the time. He would do groups with us once a week, sometimes twice a week. And Moses, he was my CSAC, my certified substance abuse counselor, who he's also Black. And it was important for me to see people like me in those positions of power, for me to even kind of take it seriously and feel heard, because a lot of it was just being misunderstood.
Yeah.
You know, and I didn't know how to communicate effectively what was making me feel uncomfortable. And so now to be in the position of changing things up a little bit, you know, putting a little razzle dazzle on it.
Okay,
Yeah,
here you go.
yeah.
Here you go.
I can bring in a little bit more diversity and make it feel a little bit more comfortable. And I just want people to know, it doesn't matter what your socioeconomic status is, that like recovery is for you too.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, like, so I'm just very happy to be part of the McShin Foundation, where I look around and I can be really proud of the staff and of the community that we serve. So for me, it's just a blessing to be in this position now, to be able to help other young women.
Yeah.
You know, you want? Okay.
Well, I was just going to add to that I think one of the things, what I got from that also is the transparency. And I think that's where sometimes we're uncomfortable with that. And I relate that back to my students, because they'll come in. Initially, I don't tell them that I own the school, because then they'll think, oh, she's never had a bad day in her life, you know, and I'll be transparent. And I'll tell them about my childhood molestation. I'll tell them about my sexual assault. I'll tell them about being forced to do things that no young girl should ever be forced to do. And then it changes the whole trajectory. You know, they're looking at me like, wow, what? So they're seeing someone who looks like them, but yet have overcome. So it gives them hope. It gives them an identity, like you said. So they don't get to opt out. They're like, wait a second. If she did that and she just shared that she went through that, okay, this actually might be doable. And so it gives them that thing that they need. And so your transparency is definitely going to help shift and change and embrace a larger
and you know,
population.
and that's the key word that I guess we heard. God, Lord, help us. You know, transparent. You know, your transparency. I was listening to being transparent. I was listening to you, the way your curriculum set up, the way your teaching is set up, to whereas in the recovery realm, it's like it's automatically, because we live that, and we know that that's the part that when the Bible said your gift will make room for you. And because we are not actively living that lifestyle today, we know that the only way that we can help someone else is by giving it away. So we have to be trust God enough to expose that about ourselves in order for the next person to identify, because yes, it happens, but we do recover. And that's the key. When I listen to how you teach your community of people, it's like, yeah, it happened. Molestation happens, right? And it is a kept secret in the house, but we recover. When we recover, we expose them, so we can let this little girl know that look, you don't have to medicate over that. I did that. You know, step up. And it's a community of people that it happened to, but just because it happened, that don't mean it's right.
Right.
But it did happen. You know, so let me back up. It is a women's conference, but I am a man.
But we like manly perspective on it as well, because sometimes I think men have a problem understanding women, especially women who have gone through those things. So it's good to have.
Oh, she's too much. She's so emotional.
She extra. Right.
Yeah.
And so to be able to understand it from all perspectives. But again, I think communication also plays a role. I don't know how we got here, but we're here. But I think communication plays plays a role as well. That being expressive, that being upfront. When you enter into anything, I don't care what ship it is, if that is going to be, if you're not fully healed from things, I think you owe it to the person to allow them to decide if they want to take that journey with you. Because when you bring in yourself and you're not whole and you're pretending to be whole, it's like that cake when you cut it. Like, oh, that toothpick didn't tell the truth. It's not done. It needs to go back. So I think that's a big part of it as well. So to have you as a part of this platform, not just as a host, but being involved in these conversations with us, because all perspectives matter.
That's great. That's great. That's great. You know, I wish I could pull this up, but I can't. My wife, she posted something on her Facebook page yesterday. Can you get it, Justice? It's Tracy Randall. I guess you probably got to be her friend. Huh?
He is Justice. He is Jesse. He is everything but Justin.
Yeah, I said Justice. you know my pronunciation and all that.
I thought you said Jesse.
But we get the message.
Yeah. Well, anyway, my wife, she's out there looking, and babe, if you could post that post that you put up yesterday when we looked like we was high school, college kids or something like that.
I love it.
But what it was in the post that she had talked about. When I first met her, she talked about domestic violence and being sexual abuse, some things that she went through, and she posted out loud. And she said, my husband loved me, he married me, and he knew what I came with, and he never judged me.
Yeah, that's good.
And so for you to say, for me to be sitting in the
so
midst,
relevant in this moment.
I mean?
Yes,
it's like because being in a 12-step, knowing how to heal and embrace brokenness, right, and not, I think, like, counter it with care. You know what I mean? It's like I never. Anyway, I'm gonna leave that alone. I'm gonna go small. I think I should go it right now. But I tell you, man, broken crayons still color.
They still color. And you know what? While Justin is looking for that, I want to say something to that. So this is I'm getting ready to be extremely transparent. Stuff that I don't on testifying Tuesday, right, girl. So listen, so in that process, and I love what you said that Tracy said, because that was my story in my marriage. So I didn't tell my husband at first, right? So I was still dealing with flashbacks. I was still having these, for some people, it drives them to drinking. For some people, it drives them to addiction. It just drove me to this rage level that I have to still work on my anger if I must be transparent on Testifying Tuesday, right?
Yes.
So my husband didn't understand some of the outbursts because I didn't go through the process. I told him after the marriage what had happened. And so then, it impacted our marriage in all ways. And so one day I just said, I owe it to this man to let him find her. Because I wasn't fully through my process.
Come on now.
And that is a
that's very mature
decision to make in a marriage. Because when we got a divorce, people were floored. Like, wait, what? You're the couple we look up to. And I said, but I'm not where I need to be for this man.
Oh, you testifying, woman.
And it is very hard to do that because that was a good man. He was a great father and an excellent husband to me, but I was not the wife he deserved. I tried to be the wife he wanted me to be, but I was not the wife he deserved. So I had to let him go. And that was a hard decision, but I was able to get healed. And I was able to get those unhealthy soul ties clipped. Because when your husband, now this is grown folk, when your husband touch you, it's supposed to feel right.
That's right.
You're not supposed to think about yesterday. And I said to him, I cannot fully commit. So I have to end this and let you go. So did we find it?
I think so. What was it a picture of?
It's a picture of me when I had my dreadlocks. I had an orange shirt on. And my wife, she had on a light green shirt. That's it right there. Woo, woo. You got that. Come on, man.
Look at the
okay, let's see.
It's some words that she had posted right up under that picture.
Let's see what she posted.
I'm telling you, man, that woman of God, that's my boo-boo.
That's your boo.
And while he's pulling that up, let me tell you something that I can testify to about the two of you guys. You complement each other so well.
Oh, that's my boo.
Oh,
Look at him. Oh, I love it. But you do. You guys complement each other so well. I can see it.
You gotta tell me what Tracy's gonna wear for Saturday.
I know, right? It's right.
Yeah,
It's a word
Tracy.
right up under there. It's like it was a post. She posted on Facebook, and the words there was right.
We're gonna have to
up
get
under
her to
that picture.
copy and paste in the comment section.
I have the post. Hang on.
Oh, you can't pull it up on your phone.
No, for some reason, I
No,
was trying
he
to
said
put it
no.
up. No, it won't let me put it up on my phone.
Yeah.
I was trying to put it up.
Mhm.
As a matter of fact, I know what she did. She sent it to me yesterday.
We got the glasses.
Yeah.
I
He
got
means
it.
business now. He
Hey.
means business.
But I think that is so important. I love how she said and she credit you, because sometimes I don't think we credit our partners enough for the support that they give us.
Here
So
you go,
that's
right here.
good.
Oh my
Oh, I
God.
see it. I see it. Well, I
read
see it on
You
that.
see it? Go ahead.
Wait, hold
go
on.
ahead. I'm gonna
Hold
let
on.
Monique read it.
Can I
Monique-
read it?
Yes, you can read it.
Okay.
I listen to this.
Yeah, they're so
I'm
cute.
very in order and listen to this. And that's my boo right there. He was a little younger then. But go ahead, read it, Monique.
We've been at it since 2005. I've had a
Wow.
couple of health scares, hospital visits, weight up and down, more up, but you keep frying chicken and bringing cookies in the house. Employment status changes, credit taking a hit when I had to file bankruptcy in 2009, but you still wanted me and cherished me after learning that I was badly bruised by rape and domestic violence. You didn't judge my past and decided to love me
Yeah.
tenderly.
Mm.
You attempted to give me an ultimatum concerning you or my furry princess, R.I.P.
Oh, I didn't mean to
Oh
read all that.
my God!
I think we
But-
should stop the reading.
Yeah.
Can we
No,
stop?
you can
No,
keep
no,
reading.
no, no,
You
no.
can keep reading. You can keep
You
reading.
accepted my
Walter?
$3 daughters and grandchildren. You see, we are a package.
Yeah.
Many were against us, but God was and is on our side. That's all that truly matters. How you love me. God knew what I needed. You, my darling, are that package for me. I vow to keep crushing on you.
I love it. Now, see, that's
Did
a lot.
Walt
That's a
make
lot
him-
to unpack, because she said something else in there that's beautiful. The package.
Yeah.
Because so many times women will slide their kids aside
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh.
because boo bay is complicated. Whatever
Oh my
box they're checking for the
God.
week, don't agree.
Ooh.
And we can't
like
do
that.
that. So
I
I
like
like
that.
that.
On fire.
I like that. I like that, Tracy. That's good stuff
Yeah,
there.
yeah. But I really wanted that part about domestic violence,
Yeah.
being raped, stuff
Yeah.
like that. Like I love her, and you're right. Me hearing what you just said is
Mhm.
like I'm grateful that it was something in her that she trusts me enough to give that to me
Mhm.
in our season,
Yeah.
and I do. I think we was dating at that point, and like I want all of you. I want none of us,
That's
you know,
cute.
Mhm.
comes with checking every I, dotting every T, whatever you got to do. Stop, Monique.
Wait.
Dot every I,
We
cross
dot
every T.
eyes.
I said it wrong.
Anything.
I felt you, Monique. You're not the millennium doll. I felt
No.
you, Monique.
Monique said, "What? Why are we dotting again? We dot our I's and we cross our T's."
Testify Tuesday.
But we knew what you meant,
We
Walt.
knew,
We
we
knew what
knew,
you
we
meant.
knew.
And I do want to say to you, I think it's awesome and it's beautiful that you were with Tracy in her
Yeah.
process.
Yeah.
Because I think it helps bring forth that healing.
Yes.
That we as women sometimes don't even realize that we need, and we come broken sometimes.
Yeah.
And you've got to be strong to deal with brokenness. But
Yeah.
mentioning brokenness, Monique,
yes.
you've been quiet over there.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit. Crack a shell. Tell us a little
Mm.
bit about Monique.
Mm.
She's the old girl.
I
What
know,
you
right?
want to know?
Mm.
What
I
must I,
could crack
share?
some crab legs right now.
You know what?
Yeah.
That's after testifying Tuesday.
Can we change it to Taco Tuesday?
This is called deflecting.
deflecting.
I tell
You
I
guys,
tell
I do not like talking about myself.
Yeah.
I mean, so I was a sex worker for the majority of my adult life.
Mhm.
I was a dancer and a sex worker. Of course, had some events happen like throughout childhood, teenage years,
Mhm.
adulthood as well. And I did kind of like Walt did quote me earlier, you know, I did mislead quite a few other women, young women, down a certain path just because, first of all, like it benefited me. Let's be honest.
Right.
And it's easy to manipulate women when you can get them instant gratification, right? So it just wasn't what ultimately made me feel great, right? So I pretty much would cover all of that up all the time with my looks, or like buy more makeup, or buy more clothes, or bags, or trips, or this and that. Mind you, I still like these things, but now I just work very honestly to attain those things.
Hallelujah. For an honest living.
And it feels good. So for me, being in the position that I'm in now, it's not instant gratification. I'll tell you that. I mean, and Walt can tell you that. It's not like people every day are like, "Oh my God, you are changing my life. Thank you so much." No, it's not. They might yell at you. They might be really ungrateful, or like they might not see it, or you might lose people. We just had someone pass away, and it hurts. But then when you see someone have a breakthrough, or finally open up and talk about their trauma, and how just because you were able to open up about what happened to you, they're able to be like, okay, well, now I don't need to do that, right? Like maybe I will just do things in a slower pace. Maybe I'll work a little bit longer to get to that goal. And that's what a lot I use social media to help portray that image, because I use social media in like a negative way before. So now I want to just show people that you can be young and fun. You can look cute. You can get nice things. You can take nice trips. And you can do it in a correct way. And I feel like it's so important for women to understand what makes them feel happy. That instant gratification only gets you so far.
Yeah.
So it's all about trying to find substance for people and helping them find that for themselves. And a lot of times in early recovery, we don't know what we want. We don't really even necessarily understand who we are as a person. So I think it's just a privilege to be able to help people through that.
What do you think? Of course, I have my own thought process on that, but you said something just now about you don't even know what it is that you would even want. Do you think that has a lot to do with childhood? Like, because sometimes kids have to feel like they have to fend for themselves, or people are in the streets early because parents are not available. And sometimes you can have two parents in a home and they're still unavailable. They're emotionally unavailable, they're mentally unavailable. And sometimes you just have to work, right? I get that. And some kids are left to kind of take care of themselves. And in today's society, we do not need internet taking care of your children, because it takes on a whole. So I'm glad you're using your platform to change the narrative from how you once had the narrative. You know what I mean? Because it's still equally as powerful. So I'm glad you're realizing that. But I just think sometimes maybe we don't know what we want because we've never been exposed to anything else but what you have.
And I think a lot of it has to do with those early childhood stages, because if you think about it, you either have, like, a lot of people have one way that they know that they could at least be okay monetarily, or they are so focused on, like how I was focused on trying, like from like the age of 5, I was like, I want to be a divorce attorney. What 5-year-old wants to be a divorce attorney? Like, seriously,
you're just counting on marriages
like,
ending.
Seriously, first of all, that is so pessimistic. But also, like, because from an early age, to me, I saw that, like, if I have money, I'm gonna be straight. Which, I can only get to that by doing this. So then once, like, I'd left college, I did what? I went and got money.
Mm-hmm.
That was the one thing I knew I could do.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the one thing that was instilled in me from a young age.
Mm-hmm.
And it was either what? I'm not going to go in the military.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't going to have people telling me what to do all the time. But I didn't feel like I had that. I wasn't able to like dive into what I would creatively want to do. You know, once I got a little bit of like a hint of that in high school and college, like I ran with that. Like I dropped out of college to go be a yoga instructor, to go spin fire and do like all this. So it was like it was like because I felt like there was such a box. And I love my parents. I love my parents to death. But like it's not like when we were younger, it was like, hey, what? It was more of like, what are you going to do to be this lawyer? Like, you know, I don't want to be a lawyer. There's no way I want to be a divorce attorney. But it wasn't like, let's explore what you like to do. It was like, okay, or now you can be a PK for the rest of your life. You can go grow up and we're going to have this church family business weird Greenleaf style situation going on. And that is not me. You know, it wasn't a lot of choices.
Wait, Monique, did you say that you actively wanted to be a divorce lawyer?
Yes, at 5. I
in
need
kindergarten,
you to understand that this was at 5.
I
Divorce behind the
wrote
scenes.
a letter.
I mean, I'm
I
doing
wrote
a
a
couple of
letter.
different things over here
No,
right now, but
no.
I was like, did she just say?
I
At 5
literally
years
wrote
old.
a letter in kindergarten saying I wanted to be a divorce attorney, a divorce lawyer. And then once I was like in 5th grade, I expanded and doubled down on that one because I said the divorce rate was not going down.
I mean, that's a pretty specific,
Very
like,
specific type
extremely.
lawyer.
Not just a
I
lawyer.
don't know why.
Specifically
Divorce lawyer.
a divorce lawyer.
Yes.
So did you
And
see a
then
lot of divorce in your family? You think that prompted it? Because I was kind of perplexed
I
as to
didn't
how you
see-
got to that at 5.
I didn't see a lot of divorces, but I did see like there is a very particular marriage within my family dynamic, not my parents,
Right.
but within my larger family dynamic that I don't like. He is a child molester. I've seen a lot of like, and I'm just one of those people that once I got it in my head, okay, well, a divorce attorney, I could help her divorce him and take everything he got.
I knew that was going to be your angle.
How
did I know that was going to be?
That's what it was. That's what it was. But then I dropped out of college, and then you know bad things happen on the road, being a sex worker, whatever. And then I'm just like, okay, bad things happen. Hit a lick, take him for everything he's got. Like it was just a pattern.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, you know what? I have to say this. We're laughing,
but
your
serious.
honesty and your transparency, I like how you're delivering it. You know, some people may not understand your deliverance of it, but I fully get it because you're just being authentic right now. And guess what? You're not the only person that thought that. You're not. I mean, some people not even sex workers and thought, I'm gonna get them for everything they got. And some people are still thinking that. So I do appreciate that. But let me ask you something, Monique. What would you say to a sex worker now better yet, what would you say to Monique now that was a sex worker?
Well, which age, Monique?
Well, which one was the worst, I guess? Let's talk to that one.
Let's see.
You don't have to tell us the age, but you know it unless you want to. But what would you say?
I mean, where I'm at currently, I'll say first in my personal recovery is now I do things because I know what I'm supposed to do, even if it goes against emotionally how I feel. So like, no, I didn't fight her because I know that that's wrong. And I feel happy that I did not fight her because I did what was right. But in my heart of hearts, I feel like, wow, why didn't you do that? Like, that doesn't feel good yet. So I'm hoping to get to the point where my heart matches that, you know, so, I mean, I would honestly say to her, be more aware of your surroundings. Be careful of who you allow in your personal space. Be careful who you allow with personal information. Because not everybody is your friend. And I don't know other than that.
Can I ask this question? Since you don't know other than that. And I'm trying to make sure I pose this question right, because how many relationships or females today, and it could be from a male perspective, are engaged with another partner or even multiple partner, not for emotional stability, but could be for material gain.
Oh God.
You know, and I won't use necessary sex trafficking, but like there's motive behind it. Towards it's not that I want to be in a relationship. I got this one paying my rent. I got this one paying my car note. And I don't see it being a healthy lifestyle, because without commitment, you know, and that's one of the spiritual principles that I love. Not just at Breaking the Bondage of Addiction Ministry, Testifying Tuesday, even in your organization, you know, but commitment is one thing that I think with commitment, there's growth, there's development, there's longevity when you commit to it, you know. But a lot of relationships are happening today, you know, for sexual gain, well, financial gain, for stability, for and so I don't look at that as being a form of sex trafficking, but still, what can I get out of it?
So one of the things that I would say, so for my life coach practice, some of my clients, well, are products of their environment. So if no one has taken the time to tell you what's right, you'll never know. And I always go back to parents, because sometimes we go wrong as parents. We silence our children when they're trying to tell us something. Not right now, be quiet. Stop silencing them, because the more you silence them, there's a predator saying, talk to me, baby. Stop telling them that they're nothing. Stop telling them they don't matter, because there's a predator saying, you're everything. I want to give you the stars, the moon, and the sky. And then the next thing you know, they're gone. You won't see them. But I think sometimes my experience is that people are a product of their environment. And until someone takes the time to show them something different, they don't know that different exists. I had a student, 26 years old, and she said to me, I have never felt love until I came into this class. That's heartbreaking. You're 26 years old and you've never felt loved in your entire life until now. Now, granted, maybe the parents didn't have the tools, but sometimes, and it's been my experience when I was younger, some of my overseers didn't put me first. They put other people first. So you automatically get that spirit of rejection and abandonment, and then you have to process it. And then you have to try to be in a relationship. And then your partner wonder why. Now, this wasn't my story, because but I was never crazy in that aspect. Well, I guess it depends on who you ask.
I don't know.
But see, Monique,
Monique,
you see how I dipped with that? But no, what I'm saying is, you do have some people, they're so angry because they get emotionally attached to that person because no one else has given them that. I made sure I have boys, so I don't have girls, so I wasn't able to do this, but I made sure my boys ate fine at fine restaurants. I made sure they had good stuff so that no one could come behind me and try to be a first in anything. You know what I mean? And that's really important for young girls. Daddies, take your girls to restaurants and treat them good, right? So that when a man comes and try to do it, oh, you ain't doing nothing. I've already been exposed to this. I've been exposed to great things. So you're just an added bonus, because otherwise, then they have the value. They hold the key to making them feel important. And we're supposed to make ourselves feel important. And it starts on the inside. And I find that parents have to pay attention. Stop silencing your children.
And when they speak up, listen. Because kids aren't gonna lie for no reason.
Right.
Even if they tell a small fib or there's something underneath there.
Right. And if they're acting out, there's a reason.
Yeah.
Yes, yes. So let me ask, Justice, did we run past the commercial break? I don't know.
You know,
Well, we did.
like 20 minutes ago.
It's don't even. I can.
Justin
I can
is
throw it
still
in
on the
later.
5-year-old divorce attorney.
Yeah, I'm still trying to get past that part.
Can't wrap our heads around that, Monique. We just can't.
No, don't stress that part.
Oh, I'm not.
Not. I wasn't. Walter.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. Okay. Well, that's great. And this part of the program here at the Machine Foundation, where we're about healing families and saving lives. And just to listen to some of the things that you talked about and some of the things that you proposed to us, a lot of it does start at home.
Mm-hmm.
When we bring our Uncle Johnny to stay over, or Aunt Curlin, because that would happen to me, as a young man, as a young boy.
Mm-hmm.
But the truth wasn't, even though it was my cousin, at that point, because of the image, 9 years old, we're going back in the community around my other friends. I tell them what happened. It's like I didn't want it to stop.
Mm-hmm.
And you're talking about the age of 9 from a male perspective, where it started in your own home.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not gonna go tell my mother because my cousin may not come over next weekend. and I was able to go tell the 12 and 13 years old boy, I got some. And I didn't know what the some is.
Mm-hmm.
But it started as a child.
Yes.
It started at home.
Yeah.
And what happens in the house, what stays in the house.
Yeah.
You know,
That was preached heavily.
Yes.
Now you unpacked something really, really good. It is what people don't understand, what you do to a young, impressionable child. I don't care. I was molested by both male and female. And it gives you're not supposed to develop feelings at a certain age.
Right.
And stuff that kind of subconsciously is not right, but when it keeps happening, it starts to feel like, oh, wait a second, this kind of could be right. And it's this warped sense of, I was in a situation, as I mentioned some things, and I'm purposely not discussing some things because I want to protect certain families.
Right. Right.
But you get these feelings in your head, like, do I kind of like this person? Are we in a relationship? We are too young to be in a relationship.
Right.
But you have those feelings like, oh, is cousin Carolyn coming back next week?
Yes.
No child should really go through that. We're not making light of that. And I want to make sure that we're clear on that. We're not making light of that. It's just, those are true feelings in that moment.
Right.
And that was a hard thing for me to process. Like, why do I feel like this should be right when I feel it's wrong? Right. And so for me, the end result of that was promiscuity and a child at 17. And I'm not saying that's everybody's story, but that was part of mine. And then you're called fast, you're called, back then they used the word frisky. Well, how come you didn't take the time to research why I was fast or frisky? Instead, you called me everything and you devalued me and you made me feel less than. And then the predator that you put in front of me made me feel greater than.
That is so deep, because when you get to the root, now as an adult, we could go back and we could examine ourselves and we could talk about that stuff, right? We could uncover that we discovered in order to recover. But when you're a child, and like you said, when you're a child, you're told to be silenced and you don't have nobody to talk to. It's still happening today. And I want us to present that avenue, that even that childlike spirit, because this one thing that Jesus said, he says, suffer not the little ones, yet the kingdom of heaven is even before them. It's like, let's listen to what they got to say. Give them the platform that they could talk. Make them feel comfortable. Don't say, go in the other room. You see, I'm on the phone. No. Let's listen to what they got to say, because they may not say it in that voice, right? But if you make them feel comfortable enough, they could bring anything to you. They could tell you what happened when cousin Moonbeam come over. You like that, cousin Moonbeam?
Cousin Moonbeam.
That's one of them old names, cousin Moonbeam.
Walter, I have never heard Moonbeam in my entire life, but I get what you're saying. So you know what I like to say, Walter? Because sometimes I think words penetrate and you have to say the right words. You're raping a child of their voice. Don't just sit there with that. You're raping a
Give me
child
little
with their
chills.
voice. Right.
Mm.
Because it's words you don't want to put together. But
Mhm.
sometimes for some parents, you have to put those words together because they always say, not right now. Be quiet. Don't tell anybody. What did you do? For me, it was, what did you do to make that happen? Are you kidding me right now?
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, again, you guys, this is another week on Testifying Tuesday here at the Mission Foundation, where everyone is welcome because we are about healing families and what? Saving lives.
Saving lives.
I heard next week there was going to be tacos, or next time.
Okay. There's going to be who?
Walt said that he was bringing tacos to the next testimony.
So
Testify
no.
Tuesday.
What I heard you say is going to be Taco Tuesdays. I say testify. Well, and that is so true. So this is what we could do.
So is that
on the
yes?
first Tuesday, the second Tuesday, and the fourth Tuesday, we can have Taco Tuesday.
You know what?
But the third Tuesday, we got Testifying Tuesday.
You know what? That's all right. I tried.
Yeah.
The
Well,
worst they can say is no.
yeah. But this we're gonna do, you guys. We're gonna go ahead and take this commercial break, and we're gonna come back and we're gonna wrap it up. We're gonna get our last closing remarks from anyone who have anything else they want to say. How does that sound, Justin? We in a good space?
Sounds good. We're just gonna act like we did the commercial because we're at the 56 mark already.
Okay.
So we'll go ahead and wrap it up now, and I'll throw the commercial in there. So.
Oh man, I tell you, man. See, this one thing I like about here at the Mission Foundation, right? A lot of times you see the people who God have in front, you know, the bring the voice, the bring the community into our presence, so we can feel the holistic approach of what we're saying. But it's always the one behind the scene that's doing all the work. So we thank Justice for doing the most. Thank you, Justice. We thank you.
You're trying to make me blush today, aren't you?
Oh no, man. I want to thank Gigi from coming in, the great work she's doing in the community. I want to thank Monique.
Yes.
Who came through the Mission Foundation. We talk about healing families, saving lives, and not only does she come through, but then she's here staff because of the great transparent work, you know, that she does. It's great. And I want to thank the Mission Foundation for bringing Breaking the Bondage Addiction Ministry on a Tuesday. Normally we operate on Sundays from 9:30 to 11 here, 2300 Dunbarton Road. But I want to thank them for bringing us in under the title of Testifying Tuesday. We're just talking about the great work that happened here at the Mission Foundation. So until next third Tuesday, not Taco Tuesday, Testifying Tuesday, we want you to make the rest of your day the best of the day in Jesus' name. God bless you.
Also, I do want to add in Thursday the 17th. We're not on the air tomorrow, but Thursday we have Honesty coming on to talk about her new book. Which is going to be a fantastic show because she's been writing that thing forever, and I really want to read it. And then the week after that, we've got a new host on the show, Darian. He's been on a couple of times, but it's his first show by himself.
Wow.
Wait, he's doing all of that like that too?
No,
he's doing this.
He's gonna do that.
He's hosting over here.
No. This is me.
Baby.
His gift will make room. As a matter of fact, Jessica, can I throw this in real quick? I got you. This Sunday at Breaking the Bondage of Addiction Ministry, I got to say this because Justice, man, he's celebrating his first year in recovery.
1 year.
The man behind the scene, man. You guys tune in because you're actually going to hear his voice. He's going to actually speak out loud. You don't see his face right now, but you tune in this Sunday at Breaking the Bondage of Addiction Ministry. We're going to give Justin the platform and let the Lord
I'm
use
not going to
him
speak
in
a
his
lot
way.
because I get nervous and sweaty when I'm in front of people.
But it's okay.
And
It's
Clammy
okay.
hand.
it makes me uncomfortable to be in front of people.
Same.
But I'm gonna say something.
Yeah, the work you do speak loud. I'm telling you, man,
That's
the work
awesome.
you do. All right.
That's awesome.
Yeah, all right. So again, we'd like to thank you guys from tuning in to Testify Tuesday here and getting in the herb at the Mission Foundation. Whoop, whoop.